Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going over my MLB Prizepicks plays for Sunday. Happy July 4th weekend. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Go through this MLB slate today. We have a pretty good one, a lot of good options, and a lot of games to pick from and players to choose from. So let's go ahead and get started. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it for the like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already. And check out all the other links I have to offer down below in the description. And let's go ahead and get started. So first prop I want to go ahead and share is going to be taking the over strikeouts on Zach Wheeler. He's only at 6.5. I feel like this number is going to quickly get bumped up to 7 at least. This season, he has a 71% hit rate. He's hit at least 7 Ks in 9 of his last 11 starts. Fell short the first 3. He was very limited with the pitch counts in the first 2 games, but otherwise he's getting at least 7 most times. Can get you a little bit more than 7, at least 8 in half of those starts. And the Cardinals will be looking at a lot of righties on this team. We can take a look over on RotoGrinders Plate IQ and to see how often this team will strike out. It should be a good one in terms of being a pretty low-scoring game with Wainwright pitched pretty well this year, and then Zach Wheeler's been also very good. This season, he has a 28.5% strikeout rate. Looking at this team, you have probably 5 righties. You do have some switch hitters to make it a little bit more lefty heavy. We'll see what they decide to do. Still have some guys strike out over 20%. You have Newt Barr, if he's in there, strikes out 32%. For Zach Wheeler, he's pretty much similar. He strikes out righties a little bit more, but I'm not too worried about it. I still expect Zach Wheeler to continue his dominance and get you at least 7 Ks. Next prop I want to give is going to be a no-run first inning prop, and this is going to be for the lowest scoring game on the slate. It has, I believe, a 7.5 total. Might go down to 7 on the sportsbook, but we're taking the under half a total. Half a run in the first inning between the Oakland A's and the Seattle Mariners. If we look at this one over on Prop Stat Cash, we can get an idea of the potential hit rate for this one. Sometimes we've seen Frankie Montas does give up some runs in the first inning, and Robbie Ray always has that blow up ending at times where he gives up a couple runs. Otherwise, he's just like lights out on all the other starts. So this one has a minus 142 on Sportsbook, about 51%, just because Montas has given up some runs. But this one, still like how great both of these pitchers have been pitching this year with the strikeouts. Hopefully, they're able to rack up some Ks against 2 offenses that will K. We've seen these pitchers just pitch against each other very recently, and that one was a super low scoring game. Frankie Montas went 8 shutout innings, and then they ended up blowing the lead in the 9th inning. So still do expect this one to be another very low scoring game. I'd take the under on it, and hopefully we can. Robbie Ray has been pitching better recently. Has only given up 2 runs in his last 4 starts and gone at least 6 innings during that stretch. So expecting it to be pretty good one for the NRFI. Hopefully we don't get a home run or something like that to blow it. Third prop is going to be a fantasy score prop, and we're taking the over fantasy on Mr. Lucas Giolito. It's at 32.5. The White Sox have done pretty well so far in the series. They're winning the first 2 games, and it's a good ballpark to pitch in. San Francisco, especially compared to the home park. This team has an absolute ton of lefties, and Giolito has been extremely good at striking out lefties. So I'm sure he's able to rack up some of the strikeouts and rack up his fantasy score very quickly that way. Do expect the White Sox to probably have a good chance to get the victory again if Giolito is able to kind of figure some things out. But looking at this lineup, you have Wade lefty, Peterson lefty, Belt lefty, Yastrzemski lefty, Listell lefty, Vossler lefty, Walton lefty. So you only have 2 righties in this lineup, 7 lefties, and this season, for whatever reason, Giolito's been striking out lefties like 40% more than he's striking out righties. 20.9% K rate to righties this year in 182 at-bats. Plate appearances and lefties, he's striking them out at 36.4%. So I love the over 6 strikeouts on Giolito. Or you can take his fantasy score prop because against lefties, he will throw that changeup at times, and it has been very difficult for some of those lefties to make contact against that pitch. So just really good numbers based on the projected lineup for the Giants and how often they will run out lefty-heavy lineups. I think Giolito, with a decent chance to go 6 innings, hopefully doesn't give up a lot of runs, so can get that quality start. And with there being a very young, inexperienced pitcher on the Giants side, hopefully the White Sox continue to get the victory today, and Giolito can get those extra bonus points. but I also think that number is pretty low at 32.5. The fourth prop is going to be a total bases prop. We're looking at Charlie Blackmon today, taking the over 1.5 total bases. It's a Coors game, but I don't expect it to be as high of a scoring game as the first two ones in this series, because you got two pretty good pitchers, Zach Gallen and Chad Cole, both guys with sub 3.75 ERA, maybe even sub 3.5 ERA. But I still would think Blackmon can get you a couple bases, maybe a double, maybe a couple of singles. If we look at the individual matchup here, both guys, sub 3.5 3.5 ERA, decent strikeout stuff for Gallen. Chad Cole can strike out some guys, not very reliant on that pitch, but we've seen Blackmon do very well against Zach Gallen. He has a 476 batting average in 21 at-bats, and Gallen still has pretty good strikeout stuff, but if you look at his numbers against lefties, he's striking them out about 5 percentage points lower. So hopefully Blackmon's able to continue his success against Zach Gallen. And then on the other side, I think you can look to Ketel Marte. He's 3 for 4 with a home run against Chad Cole. Those would be my two favorite props from this Coors game. And maybe you can look to Crone as well, just with how good he is in Coors. And then the final prop is going to be Brady Singer, taking the over 26.5 fantasy points for him. He gets a matchup against Detroit, who ended up winning last night. They scored 2 runs the bottom of the 9th to get the victory, and it was Riley Green had a great game. I think he had a triple, and then he had the walk-off home run, his first home run, and it was a walk-off, so very special moment for him and the Tigers. But ultimately, I still like Singer. He's just very consistent. Taking a look at his game log, most often than not, he's going to get you 5 innings at least. Last time out against Oakland, went 8 1/3. Had another 5K game. Doesn't typically get blown up. He averages a little under a strikeout per inning, but they still let him throw. More often than not, he can get into the 90s if he's pitching pretty well. Last time out, they let him go 99. On the road, he's been pretty good this year, 3.86 ERA. The Tigers are the lowest scoring team in baseball. They're averaging 2.99 runs per game, which is almost 0.2 less than the second lowest scoring team, which is the Oakland A's, and those two are way far behind the third, which is the Pirates at 3.73. But maybe you want to take the under here. You got two of the lowest scoring teams in baseball, 2 of the 4, and 2 pretty good pitchers on both sides with Skubal and Brady Singer, so maybe the under is the play here as well. But that's it for the prize picks. Those are the 5 plays I got for you guys today. Over 6.5 Ks on Zach Wheeler, under half a run, A's, Mariners, with Robbie Ray and Frankie Montas going at it. Over 32.5 fantasy for Lucas Giolito, with how often Giants will strike out, and with Giolito just having an absolutely insane strikeout rate against lefties this year. Should be able to get up those fantasy points easily, and I do like the chances the White Sox can get the win today. Over half a base, or over 1.5 bases on Charlie Blackmon. Leadoff hitter, potentially, or maybe top 3. Sometimes they like to start Connor Joe in the leadoff spot, but he's gonna be in the top 3 in the batting order. Probably looking at 4 at-bats, hopefully 5 at-bats, and he's had very good numbers and success against Zach Gallen. Has a 476 over probably 10 hits and 21 at-bats. And then Brady Singer over 26.5 fantasy, very low scoring team in Detroit, lowest scoring team in baseball. Singer gives you decent strikeout stuff, just pretty consistent. Doesn't give you, or maybe today can be the day where he has like a big strikeout game, but typically he's been right around the 4 to 5 range. But if he's not giving up a lot of earned runs today against the Tigers, then should have no problem hitting that. That's what I got. Hopefully we can get a sweep or at least 4-1. Best of luck tonight. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and I will see you all next time.